Hello and welcome back to An Old Man Watches, where today I'm going to be talking about the 2008 Chinese historical action epic Three Kingdoms, which you may find subtitled Resurrection of the Dragon. And when Cao Cao leads the massive imperial army in an effort to conquer the southern warlords, a young man named Zhao Zilong enlists to help resist the invasion. Zhao's loyalty to his friends, his skill at arms, and his tactical genius soon bring him to the attention of the warlord Liu Bei. Zhao is assigned to lead a mission to rescue the warlord's family, who are in Cao Cao's clutches. He does succeed in retrieving Liu Bei's infant son, gaining him a privileged position in that man's forces. And as the years pass, Zhao continues to fight for Liu Bei, who rises from the status of warlord to be the founding emperor of Shu Han, one of the three kingdoms of China, hence the film's name. Zhao also personally prospers during this time, becoming one of Liu Bei's 5 tiger generals whose military successes have secured the new kingdom. Eventually, Liu Bei and the other 4 generals all pass. The new emperor, Liu Shan, decides to invade the neighbouring kingdom of Wei. Despite Zhao's qualms about this war of aggression, the now grey-haired general, last survivor of his generation of commanders, insists on leading the army for one last campaign. But the armies of the Wei have fine commanders and will fight fiercely to defend their homeland. Will Zhao maintain his reputation as the invincible general who has never lost a battle, or has the aging commander finally met an enemy whom he cannot defeat? So, as is evident from the title, this film focuses on the Three Kingdoms era of Chinese history. That was also the era in which the last movie I discussed, the Battle of Red Cliff, was set. However, whereas that film revolved around a single battle, in fact, the battle that sort of began the era, this one traces the career of one of the most famous generals of the period, Zhao Zilong, or to give him his birth name, Zhao Yun. Like the Battle for Red Cliff, this film didn't quite gel for me, which is a shame because I actually liked a lot of the elements of the movie and thought it was pretty much in every way better executed than John Woo's offering. Unfortunately, despite the many positive individual components, I felt like the whole was less than the sum of the parts. I'm going to talk about why that is at the end of this video. First, though, I want to look at some of the film's positives. So the Battle for Red Cliff had very clear good guys and bad guys, and it frequently made the latter group howlingly incompetent. Three Kingdoms has a more nuanced approach. Zhao Zilong is our protagonist, and he has adversaries, but those adversaries feel much more like complete individuals, not just movie mook antagonists. They're also much more capable than those in Red Cliff. They don't fall blindly into every stratagem that Zhao Zilong and his allies employ. Heck, they even sometimes employ successful stratagems of their own. Giving Zhao competent, effective adversaries makes his successes against them more notable and impressive. I also found the battle sequences to be more effectively and fluidly staged. They felt more visceral and dynamic. More real, you might say, though that's a somewhat loaded word given that obviously I have no personal knowledge of what a Battle of the Era looked like and felt like, and the filmmakers are also using extensive amounts of CGI to depict all this. The days of literally recruiting thousands of extras for battle scenes are, I think, in the past, and so, as I said, real is a loaded word. It feels convincing is perhaps a better way of putting it. In terms of the film's strengths, I also feel like I should take the time to mention the performances, which are excellent. Now, it might seem a little odd to praise the actors in a film where I don't understand a word of the language, because I don't, but it just goes to show how much of the art of acting is in body language, facial expression, and tone of voice. I might not understand a word Sammo Hung is saying, but I know exactly how his character is feeling, even when those feelings are quite complex, from all of those other contexts that he gives me. And anchoring those performances is Andy Lau, a respected veteran of Hong Kong cinema. Lau is excellent as Zhao. It's a challenging role since he has to convincingly portray the same character over a span of 5 decades, and he does a fine job. Also doing a fine job is Maggie Q as the Wei General Xiao Ying. She not only had to take on a physically demanding role, but in order to play it, she needed to learn both to speak Mandarin and to play the pipa, a musical instrument which is sometimes referred to as a Chinese lute. She won considerable praise from her co-stars for the dedication she showed in this project, and I'd say she deserved it. So the film has solid antagonists and battle sequences and strong performances. So what's the problem? Well, it's the script. In trying to cover 50 years of Zhao's life, the writers have, I think, bitten off a bit more than they can chew, structurally speaking. The movie felt to me very episodic, more like a series of vignettes that happened to share the same characters than a single cohesive narrative. The individual sequences end up feeling, to me at least, a bit disconnected and isolated from each other rather than a cohesive whole. It should also be noted that this is not the cheeriest of films. Although there's quite a bit of fairly gung-ho dialogue and many well-constructed battle scenes, this is not a lightweight feel-good movie by any stretch of the imagination. I actually quite appreciated the more somber, thoughtful themes underpinning the film, but it definitely won't be to all tastes. And again, it's a theme that I felt could have done with a little bit more time and room to breathe. Ultimately, I think the big reason Three Kingdoms feels like less than the sum of parts is because it probably has too many parts. The film is overstuffed and lacks sufficient time and space to fully explore the story and themes it wants to deal with. I suspect that if they wanted to include everything that they did include, they would have been much better off doing it as a prestige mini-series of 8 to 12 episodes instead of trying to condense it all into a single 100-minute film. And if they were going to do a single 100-minute film, then they needed to cut down on all of the stuff and give what was left more room to breathe. It's a shame because I think it comes close to being a really good film but doesn't quite get there. Next time, would you like some nightmare fuel in your kids' movie? Because if so, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang has you covered. But that's next time. Until then, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you've seen today's movie, let me know what you thought of it.